on the Old Docks Road heading towards B&Q Roundabout. At the roundabout we're turning left first exit. Quite a standard approach here, standard size roundabout, and it's traffic light controlled, so that makes it a little bit easier. So we check our centre and left mirror and a nice left indicator to take the first exit. It's well lane marked, this roundabout as well, so if you just hold to your lane it will lead you off to your exit. And still on the approach, have a little check to the right in case anyone's coming through like an emergency vehicle, and the examiners would like you to do that same check. As we turn the corner, we're now on a 40-mile-an-hour road. That's the maximum we can use along here. The examiner will tell us at this point to turn right at the roundabout, third exit, exit number 3. So I check my right, centre mirror, indicate to move to the right hand lane, and we've got a traffic controlled roundabout here, which is also a spiral roundabout heading towards New Brighton, which is the third exit. So on the approach, I know to keep to the right, so by the island, following that sign at A554 North. You see it on the floor as well as on the side. Now these boards you can see ahead with our numbers on are telling us which lane to be in. It's not telling us that our exit is ahead, it's just letting us know what lane to be in. So we've gone past exit 1, so we still need to keep right for the moment. But what we'll see around this corner is 3 lanes develop, so a new right hand lane, which is what we want to ignore because we want to be working our way off to the third exit from where we've come from. So as I come around the corner, I can see the developing lane, so I keep to the left of that marking, so that naturally leads me towards the left hand lane as we come underneath the bridge here, which is ideal for us because I've gone past 2 exits, so I know the next exit that I see is for me. Again, this roundabout isn't completely round, so monitor your road position, and as you're leaving, aim for the left curb because that's the best position to come off of the roundabout, which leads us nicely into the left hand lane of our exit. We're now on the New Brighton approach road, which is up to 70 mile an hour at the moment. We're not expecting to get to 70, especially with the traffic in front, but demonstrate you're aware of the speed if you can and be above 30 mile an hour at this point. It's not long before the speed limit drops towards 40, so here it comes. So we check our centre mirror and just make sure we're at 40 before that sign. Towards B&Q Roundabout from New Brighton, this time following the sign towards Old Docks. It'll be the first exit left at the roundabout, so not too complicated on this occasion. So it's just a centre and left mirror check. I would still give a left indicator to warn people that I'm not considering going ahead at the roundabout, that I'm going to take the first exit. And same with Old Docks, follow the green box. You can't go wrong from there. Just a long bend, traffic light control roundabout, so there's not too much of an issue here. So have a little look to the right in case anyone drives through a red light. Hold your left lane, and that's then bringing us up towards Wallasey. Now approaching B&Q Roundabout, coming from New Brighton, heading towards Birkenhead. You'll see the road signs on the map, and we'll be following the road ahead, second exit. Traffic light controlled roundabout, so that makes it a little bit easier on the approach. What can be a bit confusing is that on this occasion we have to cross a lane marking, the marking on our right as we go onto the roundabout, to aim for the middle lane. So as we come round the corner, our markers lead us to the first exit, but it's okay to cross that marking into the middle lane, and then it becomes the left hand lane for our exit. So we just hold that position, left hand lane on the approach, cross a marking into the left hand lane. As we leave the roundabout, our lane still leads us into left hand position. There shouldn't be any cars from the right cutting in towards us. If you feel it's necessary to put an indicator on, do so. It's not wrong to do it because you are leaving at this exit. If you didn't have an indicator on, your lane leads you to the exit, so that's just as good. I'm now heading towards B&Q roundabout, and I've been asked to follow the roadside towards New Brighton. Sometimes people get a bit confused because they've just been following potentially the sign towards the motorway M53, and then the examiner asks them to go to New Brighton. Remember, on your test you will never go on the motorway. You're not allowed with the examiner. They're not covered to be on the motorway with you on your test, so you must avoid any routes to lead onto the motorway. So we're going ahead here, second exit, so we hold our lane, drift past the first exit, which is towards the motorway. You must not turn onto that road. You can do it if you're driving instructors, but you can't do it on your driving test. So if you're ever unsure, does the examiner still want me to go on following M53, ask them, or if there's not enough time, drive past the motorway junction. You cannot go on the motorway. I can't stress that enough. This roundabout isn't completely round, so if you start to go past the traffic light ahead of us, we need to hug the curb to the left of us to make sure we stay in our lane and don't drift too much to the lane on our right. So I've checked my left mirror and I just lean out towards that curb, and that keeps me well away from that lane marking on my right. This road is a dual carriageway and it is a national speed limit road, so currently it's up to 70 miles an hour. Now in this situation I can't get much more above 35 where I'm at now, but we want to at least show the examiner we can do up towards that speed limit. Just show you above 30. A little bit further on it does then slow down to a 40 mile an hour. Slow enough in time for that speed limit sign. On that occasion there, you've seen that I came round and left in the right hand lane, and I was down to a quick safe decision because I've seen the build up of traffic due to the pedestrian crossing on the roundabout in the left hand lane, so I felt it was a safe action to hold my position and come off in the right hand lane and reduce the amount of traffic that would be backed up onto the roundabout. Struggling because of traffic to get back into the left hand lane, but again I know along this road with local knowledge I can use this lane still for the direction that I want to go towards until I find it safe to go back left. Time for this roundabout. I'm going ahead, second exit, and I know that my lane is going to split into two. That allows me to go ahead, so I ignore the developing lane on the right when it comes up, and then just will allow me to filter off in this right hand lane up towards New Brighton. We will prefer to use the left hand lane. That's our standard lane for going ahead or turning left, but there are occasions where we can do the same action in the right hand lane if there's multiple lanes on the approach to the roundabout and on the exits. So you'll see as I come around here, I'll still hold the middle lane to A554 north on this occasion. That's why we keep it slow. It shouldn't be going for a right exit in the left hand lane regardless, but that's the danger of the roads. That's another reason why I probably recommend that we always keep to the left hand lane if we're following the road ahead. It avoids that risk of people crossing us like it just happened to me. We're now on the approach to B&Q Roundabout, and we're going to be following the sign towards All Docks. A good tip is to follow the sign, or remember All Docks green box. Off the map, it's the third exit right as we're approaching B&Q Roundabout, which is traffic light controlled now. And this roundabout is a spiral roundabout, which means the lane we choose on the approach is the lane we keep to as we travel around the roundabout, but it leads us from where we start to the left position by the time we get to our exit. So you can see here, All Docks green box is the right hand lane to begin with. These white signs are telling us which lane to be in. It's not telling us that our exit is the next one coming up. Always on spiral roundabouts, we want to avoid any developing lanes to the right because they will take us back round to where we came from. We've gone past one exit, so we're not leaving yet, but what we'll find is at some point we should be moved by the lane into the middle position. You can see the next signs, whiteboards, are saying green box, middle lane. So we ignore the developing lane on our right, not follow those cars in front of us, and let ourselves drift around to the middle lane, and then that filters and drifts into the left hand lane where you can see the green box is now telling us to be. Just in time for the third exit. So All Docks, green box. See, we filtered off. Our lane leads us to our exit, and we can make progress along this road up to 50. We're now on the Wallasey Dock Road, and the examiner will ask us when it's safe to take the lane on the right. So the speed limit is 50 miles an hour, and we're looking for the line to the right of us to become broken. Check your centre, followed by your right door mirror, and blind spot if you need it. And when it's safe to, filter into the right hand lane. The left lane is going towards the tunnel, which we can use as a learner driver. However, it's not on a test route, so be ready to be in the right hand lane if it's safe to.